Today we have beef chuck tender steak. Okay, so these are also known as mock tenderloin. They look like filet mignon, but they're really not. They're very, very tough. So most people don't even consider cooking these. I was on YouTube trying to find a recipe to make this, and it's hardly much. You know, everybody's making it with the chuck steak and all that. But today I'm gonna try something different. So I have this, gonna use it. So I figure I do my own and post it on YouTube. Maybe somebody else like me who is interested in using this meat can see what my results were. So because this meat is really tough, we're gonna tenderize it. What I've done already is put some sea salt on it on both sides, put it in the fridge for 2-3 hours. I just took it out of the fridge and I'm gonna pound it. Okay, I'm gonna pound it to break down the muscle and the cartilage a bit. And then my idea is everybody's complaining that it's a dry cut of beef. So, you know, when you cook it, it's tough and dry. So I figured, hey, why not incorporate some bacon with it? So I have some ideas that I want to use bacon along with this. And I'm going to be smoking some salmon and ribs this weekend. So I figured I'll throw this on there and see how it comes out. Maybe somebody else will benefit from my experience. I don't care if you subscribe to me. I don't care if you like this video. I'm not doing it for the subscribe and the like. I'm doing it so another fellow chef can benefit from my experience and maybe improve on this dish. We'll see how it turns out. Okay, stay with me. Oh, by the way, this cut of meat is very inexpensive. I think it's one of the most inexpensive cuts of meat because of toughness of it. And most recipes call for long, slow cooking time. So I figured maybe with smoking long, 4 hours, 5 hours, on around 225, 250, we might soften the meat up. So nowadays, with the way the economy is, you know, with the prices of meat gone up and all that, heck, if this video can help somebody take a, you know, less expensive cut of a meat and make something wonderful out of it, then I'm done good. So yes. So here you can see I've been doing a good job of pounding it, and it is a pretty tough cut of meat. I can just tell from pounding it. So what I'm going to do is remove some of the fat. I'm going to leave this thin layer because I think it'll hold moisture in, and it's going to help with my plans. So I think because of toughness of it, we're going to need to marinate this in some kind of a acid. Lemon can be used, I guess, any type of vinegar. I think I'm going to use balsamic vinegar because I think after balsamic vinegar cooks on the smoker, I think it'll really go well with flavor of bacon. And also, I've marinated meat in the past, tough meat in the past with emulsified fresh peppers. You know, they don't have to be spicy, even though you can use spicy. I may consider doing that, so I'll see. I'm gonna get everything together and show you what I'm gonna use and the amount I'm gonna use. Be right back. Okay, so I decided to not use the peppers because that gives it a lot of pepper flavor, and you know, it's the first time I'm making this. I wanna see how it turns out without it. So I got basic ingredients. I got some soy sauce right here. You know, the amount, just eyeball it. Brown sugar. I have a little bit of oregano and a coarse dried garlic and just fresh ground pepper, balsamic vinegar, and W sauce. Okay, so I'm gonna put this together, mix it, and rub it on the meat, and I'll be back. And the amount of sugar I used 4 tablespoons. I figured 1 tablespoon per cut of meat of brown sugar. I used about 2 tablespoons of the W sauce and 2 tablespoons of the balsamic vinegar, and you know, salt and pepper. And you can add any spices. You know, a lot of the videos I watched and a lot of I read about this cut of meat is that it's flavorless. You know, so I figured, hey, why not give it some flavor? You know, after all, we should be grateful that we even have this to eat. So it's yep. Since we have a lot of fresh lime on our property, I decided why not give it a little bit of lime juice also to increase the acidity. So 1 lime juice added. Gonna stir it, and I've already placed the meat in the Ziploc bag. I'm gonna add the mixture to the bag and make sure all the pieces are coated, and we're gonna put it in the refrigerator, let it sit overnight to do its job, and then tomorrow I'm gonna show what my plans are with the bacon, and maybe a little foreshadowing here. So this is what it looks like with the marinade on it. You know, from the pounding and the marinade, the meat is already starting to fall apart. So yeah, it's looking really good. By the way, I didn't add any salt to the marinade because if you remember, I said I sea salted it, put it in the fridge a few hours before I brought it out and pounded it. And I didn't, you know, of course, rinse off or patted the salt off of it. So there's plenty of salt on there. So in between the soy sauce and all that, you really don't need to add more salt to it. Alrighty, so this is the next day, and this meat has been marinating in the brine that we made earlier, and you can see that it's already starting to break down, which is a good sign, but that doesn't mean still it's going to come out to be as tender, but we'll do our best. So as I promised, here's the bacon, but I'm going to use another 2 ingredients in putting this beef together to be smoked. Pineapple. Pineapple has sugars and acids that apparently break down meat really fast. Could have marinated in some pineapple juice. I think that would have helped break this down faster, but I figured I'd do it a little bit different way. So what we're going to do, the plan is to wrap each one of these medallions with a bacon, and then we're going to put a pineapple on there, and we're going to fill the little hole on the pineapple with barbecue sauce. So, and then we're going to stack it up on like that on top of each other. We're going to use a wooden skewer to secure everything, and then grill that, or not grill it, but to smoke it on low heat on the smoker. I'm going to put part of it together. Since I'm filming and doing this at the same time, I can't do both. I'll put part of it together, and we'll go through the steps. So here is the first piece that I wrapped the bacon around. I used thick cut bacon. I think that will do much better. And this is hickory smoked. And my barbecue sauce is Trader Joe's organic Kansas City barbecue sauce. So what I did is I wrapped 1 layer in bacon, put a pineapple, and filled it up with the barbecue sauce. Now we're going to put another piece of meat and do the same thing and build this up. All right. So here's what it looks like so far. Just 1 layer of bacon on each piece of meat with pineapple, barbecue sauce in the middle hole. Now what I'm going to do is, if you've ever cooked with this cut of meat, you'll see that it kind of tends to fold in as it cooks. And it kind of gets like pops out right down the middle. I disconnected some of the cartilage here because I think that's what was, or the connective tissue, that was what keeps it and forces it into that shape. But also to prevent that from happening and this falling apart, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these wooden skewers. So what I'm going to do is, in 3 places, I'm going to insert the wooden skewer all the way through. That should hold the pieces together. And also where the seams are for the bacon, I'm going to put 1 skewer going through that way to give it the bacon more support so it doesn't fall off. So I'm going to do that and show it to you guys what it looks like. All right, so as you can see, this is what we're left with. We got the skewers going through. I think what I'm going to do is place another layer of bacon over each slice of pineapple to keep the juices in and barbecue sauce and all that from flowing out. I think that'll give it even more moisture and flavor. So I'm going to do that next. Now I'm going to use a cooking twine, I think it's called, to wrap this all together to keep it even more together. And then we'll let it rest in room temperature for about half hour, 45 minutes. Then we'll start smoking it. Stay tuned. All right, folks. So here we have it. I got the twine wrapping around there, just going crisscross. We got the wooden skewers holding things together, ends of the bacon. And this thing is turning out better than I imagined. As I was wrapping the bacon around the meat, it was just falling apart. So I think this is going to be really tender, and hopefully we'll get good results. Again, this is the first time I'm making this. I never made this before. It's just my own creation. And we're going to let this rest for about half an hour. I got the fire going outside. We're going to smoke it on red oak. I love using red oak. I love the taste and smell of it. So fire's outside, the smoker is getting ready. And in a bit, we're going to take this out and put it out there along with, I got some salmon and ribs and chuck steak, actually, 1.5 inch thick steak that I'm going to smoke also. And I'll show you all that. Alrighty, stay tuned. Here we go. Check back in about 10 minutes to make sure temperature is keeping good. To lower the temperature, so we're going to put it. Lovely, and the sun has come out. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous day here on the Central Coast. So I always check my temperature often when I first start smoking. Now you can't see it back there, but it's around 240, 220, which is perfect. So I got my experiment here, got some ribs going there, and I'm gonna put some salmon that I do in my own marinade, and I smoke it and it comes out really, really good, as you're gonna see in a bit. Here's the salmon fillet. It's wild caught. I always try to get wild caught if I can find it. As you can see, they're small, but they're gonna be very delicious. I brined it for about 2 days in my own brine, and now we're gonna place it on the smoker. So here's the salmon on the smoker with our ribs and our experiment, and we're gonna close this down now and check back in about 15-20 minutes. After years of smoking different meats, you get to learn when your smoker is running just right. A smoker that's doing about 225 should look just like that. Perfect. All right. Okay, guys. So it's been about, I don't know, 5 hours since the smoker has been going. We've already done the salmon, the ribs. We've eaten those and enjoyed them. And here is our little experiment. So I'm gonna take that out, put it on a plate, and let it settle down. Then we're gonna cut it up and see what it looks like. All right. So here we go. Check this out. This is a beauty. Okay, so here we have it. Right off the smoker, ready to go. So I'm gonna remove all the wood, cut the strings, and we'll slice it up, and we'll get some honest opinion from folks out there as to what it tastes like. So here we have it all sliced up. I'll tell you, I've tasted a piece of it. It's pretty tender. Actually, it's pretty good. We'll see. We'll get some honest opinion.
Is that it's actually pretty good for the cut of meat.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
So it is edible.
Yeah, it's edible.
Folks shouldn't knock it down.
Nope.
I should be grateful that they have this beautiful cut of meat that they can make it so delicious and eat it. All right. Well,
And if the cow gave, they're all for it.
It's so good. It's really yummy.
It's actually really tender and delicious. Yeah.
Oh wow! And you, sir?
It's very tender, actually.
I'm
That is
full.
we would eat this again.
Yes, thumbs up.
Yes, very good.
Okay, so you guys heard what my guest had to say about this cut of meat, but I'll tell you what I think of it. I think it's good. It's not ribeye. It's not sirloin. You know, and the reason is why it doesn't have a lot of fat. So hey, it's healthier for you, and people like it. So bottom line is, we can make great things with anything if we have imagination And we have some resources available to us. Look around you, see what's around you, take it, put it together, and make a wonderful dish out of it, and enjoy it with your family and friends. Well, love and peace to everybody on this earth. And take care and enjoy. Bye.